Hi, I'm Kennedy Slavicek, and this is my audience. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so how many of you had parents that talked about listening to vinyl records when they were younger?
Me.
Yep. And how many of you listen to vinyl records now?
Me.
Yeah, nice. So a few of you.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the past certainly does seem to repeat itself. Vinyl records have made a comeback in the past 10 years or so. I've had a record player and a pretty big vinyl collection for a while now, so it definitely makes me a contributor to the return of the records. But it does make me knowledgeable on the subject, but I did do a lot of research. I think it's important for people to know the history of older pastimes, especially in the rare case of them coming back like this one. Knowing the history is a great way to connect with people of all generations and sharing things that they have in common. In my speech, I will be talking about when vinyl records started, the rise and fall of them, and the recent vinyl revival. After years of trying to make one, the first set of vinyl records was marketed and sold in 1894 and could only play one recording. The very early records usually played talk show or radio shows, and they had poor sound quality and could only hold up to 2 minutes on one side. Over the next 10 years, the records developed, becoming larger and larger, and finally in 1903, the 12-inch record was made and could hold 4.5 minutes on one side. In 1909, a record revolution happened, and the first full-length album was released on a vinyl record. It was Tchaikovsky's The Nutcracker soundtrack, which is interesting. And with the little technological advances in that time, vinyl sales stayed stable and rose a little bit every year until the 1970s. In the 1970s, vinyl records were at their peak selling point due to the increase of music interest. People liked listening to vinyls and were really interested in music in that time, and the sales were in the hundreds of millions of dollars. But unfortunately, the demise of the vinyl started in 1985 with the creation of cassette tapes. Cassettes ruled the music world until the CDs were made and overtook them in 1988. In that same year, vinyl sales dropped from 280,000, while CD sales were at 800 million. Stores stopped buying and selling vinyl records and struggled to get the old ones they already had off the shelves. By the late 90s, vinyl was considered almost extinct, and it didn't look like they were coming back anytime soon. Fast forward to 2007, where downloading is king in the music world. There was a strange small increase in vinyl sales that year. By the early 2010s, some areas in the US, vinyl was more popular than it was in the 1980s, which is really cool. In 2014, it was reported that more than 13 million vinyls were sold in America, and in the first half of 2015 alone, 9 million vinyls were sold. And here I have a graph of the vinyl records. This is from Wall Street Journal. Or vinyl record sales from 1993 at the bottom to 2014, so they skyrocketed. Although vinyl records are only a small portion of the overall music sales, the fact that they were almost extinct in the 90s and are now coming back is pretty amazing. A quote from the Recording Industry Association of America's vice president says, "In an increasingly digital age, vinyl records can provide a deeper and tactile connection to music and people." Now you can see current artists like Taylor Swift, Lana Del Rey, and Justin Bieber selling their albums on special edition vinyls. A lot of people are discovering vinyl, and it's creating new connections with new people. Now people can sit down and listen to vinyl records just like their parents did when they were their age. Vinyl records started from being a small 4-inch disc that can only hold for 2 minutes to playing a full album on one side. My parents' generation made them popular, but my generation made digital downloading and online streaming more popular. Now vinyls are on the rise again, and their future is looking promising with the continuing rise in sales every year. So now we can enjoy an authentic sound of a vinyl record just like our parents did. There we go.